Good morning, YouTube. PPS back. It is Saturday. It is another round of our YouTube free plays. I got two of them for you today. One prop, one straight bet. And yeah, I really have no words for how this first week or these first 2 days have gone for me. I have been on the weirdest hook train I've ever been on. It sucks because they look so good for such a long time. We can just go over my best bets and you'll be able to see exactly what I mean. I beat line movement on pretty much every single one of these. Purdue ended up at 80.5. I ended up having it at 78.5, and they have 78. Did not score a point in the last 3 minutes of the game. They pulled all their starters. They were at 67. I was at this game. I was at Purdue. They were at 67 with about 12 minutes left. Or no, it was like 13 minutes left, something like that. That one was an unbelievable beat. There's one hook for you. This one crushed by like 40 points. San Diego State. Talked about Matt Bradley needing to be very good. He wasn't terrible in the beginning of the game. Turns the ball over to tie up the game and misses a free throw to win the game. Right, they were up by 12, or they were up 8 with 3 minutes left. Couldn't make a free throw. So we're 1 point off of the Purdue win for 1.5 units, and we're a free throw away from winning this one, and just terrible free throw shooting away from there. And Duke, they just shit the bed. I don't even think they covered. I didn't take the covering spot. I don't trust Duke usually on covering stuff, but I didn't think they'd have that much of an issue with Cal State Fullerton. We went 1-3 on the best bets, one free throw away from winning both. So I got hooked 4 times yesterday, guys, and I posted one of them for free as the Arizona first half. And that's just how it goes, I guess. It's madness. It's if you're betting under, it's good for you and you're making some money there. I just expect some regression here. I'm really seeing in a lot of these games that the refs aren't calling as much. There's a few of them that are, and then there's like a lot of these games where it's super physical. There's really no free throws. My evidence for that would be the Memphis-Boise game, and my evidence for that would be the Providence South Dakota State game. I thought there was a ton of fouls, nothing really called there. There's a lot of games exactly like that. So, all right, we're coming back to you guys with 2 plays, one prop, one straight play. And the first one I'm going to go to is the New Mexico State Arkansas over 138 here. I think this line is pretty nice. I think this actually gives us a pretty sharp edge here. Everybody looks at New Mexico State's defensive numbers, and I understand that. And I saw everybody was on their under in their last game, and I took the over because when they have stepped up in competition, they really haven't. Even when they play good defense, the points are still there, right? In their last game, they scored 133 points, and that was actually playing against a UConn team that ranks 301 in pace, while they rank 240 in pace. So yes, if you go off of the straight numbers that kind of are happening there with pace and blah 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 and all that, that should be an easy cruise under, right? When you're playing a team like Arkansas here, Arkansas is going to run. This is going to be almost like a complete opposite of what their first game was. Arkansas is 29th in the country. To put that in perspective, when they played UConn, who was 301 in the country, they will be gaining over 6 possessions in this game from UConn to Arkansas. Obviously, New Mexico State has their stud, who dropped 30 in their last game. Also looking at past games, Arkansas is actually on a 7-game over streak. And I think it's just because they're not playing defense. Their KenPom defensive numbers are pretty good. I'm not going to lie. They're top 20 in defensive adjusted defense. But if we go into it, really, they're still allowing 68 points per game. Their defense is very good, but they're playing at such a high pace that it doesn't allow them to hold teams down like your San Diego States or your other teams that are just slower in pace. Also looking in here, I think that we're going to see both teams, if you look at the offensive numbers here, they're averaging 77 points and 73 points here. Even looking into like first half numbers, I think the first half over has some life. New Mexico State seems like they're a great finishing team as they start out slower. 32 points in the first half. Arkansas scores 35 points in the first half, but both teams are over 40 points in the second half of games. Good closing teams. A nice spread at like that 6-point spread. I like those. Those are usually the ones right when you're about to fall with like a minute and a half left versus like 10 seconds. I think really everywhere we look, we have Note on one side of this game, and obviously he's a stud. Looking at New Mexico's offense, they're 82nd in 2-point shooting, and they're very good on the offensive glass, top 50 in that category as well. And I think that's going to really help them here. I think that's going to be one of their best attributes in this game, because I think that they're going to see a lot of bad shots get taken. I think we're going to see just going to see a lot of shots here coming up from obviously the top dude. I can't remember, Teddy Allen for him. Still shooting 44%, 88% from free throw, averaging 20 points on the season per game. I'm sorry, I always think of Allen, and I can never remember the first name because Timmy Allen. I was at the Texas game yesterday, and I keep thinking Timmy Allen. It's not Timmy Allen, it's Teddy Allen. But I do like this over. I think the pace here, pace up for New Mexico State. And I also think that Arkansas's defense is not what it's been lately. If you look at the full year, if we're looking at just their last one, 71 versus Vermont. And even we go 67 to LSU, 78 to Tennessee, 76 to LSU, 73 to Kentucky, 74 to Florida. You know, like a lot of those numbers are a little higher than I think they should be. And they do like to foul a lot. So I think that the free throw line is going to be very huge in this game. So that was my first play. Again, guys, if you could, please drop a like. I understand the last 3 plays have sucked. I understand. But if you guys could please show your support, I really appreciate it. And I think we're going to get into our next one here. KJ Williams, going with Murray State. Guy over 8.5 rebounds. This dude is an absolute tank, guys. I've watched Murray State quite a few times this year. And the reason why I really like this play is because he literally is Oscar Tshiebwe. They literally are the exact same everything. Tshiebwe's, I believe, is a little bit smaller at 6'9". KJ Williams is 6'10", 260. 245. And they're pretty much the exact same height, play the exact same way, both super aggressive rebounders. And I actually think that the pace here is going to actually help this. We're going to have a team that in St. Peter's who cannot score the basketball. They cannot score the basketball. Obviously, I understand, but Kentucky did not guard one guy. If you guys watch that game, Kentucky could not guard anybody. There were some shots where there was no one within like 10 feet of the shooter. And I mean, it was just inexplicable. There's no way around it. Murray State is actually a better defensive team, in my opinion. They play more team defense. They're 42nd in the country in adjusted defense. And if you look at St. Peter's offensive stuff, man, they're 250 in 2-point, 116 in the country in 3-point. They're a terrible free throw shooting team. They only score 67 points per game. I get that. You got a 21st ranked Murray defense here. They're top 50 in 3-point defense, defensive rebounding, most of that coming from KJ Williams, 3-point defense and 2-point defense. So this is going to be a very hard game to score. And when it's a tougher game to score, it's at a 130 spread. I'm going to rely on the guy who's going to be in there. He played 39 minutes in their last game. Obviously, that one went to overtime. So he's averaging 8.5 rebounds per game this season. He's hit this in 2 of his last 3 games. And he's getting a lot of minutes. Even in games that don't go, it's about 35 minutes per game. He is by far their best player, and I definitely expect him to have that type of game that Tshiebwe had on these guys, because when teams miss and brick free throws, and that just leaves more chance for rebound. Tshiebwe had 16 rebounds on the same team. I expect him to be in double digits. If you have a double-double line, I expect that to happen. This is just their best player in a big-time game to move to the Sweet 16 for the Racers here. I do have a Final Four ticket for them at 46-1. So obviously I'm rooting for the Racers. KJ Williams, over 8.5 rebounds here against St. Peter's. I just don't think there's going to be enough shots going in for St. Peter's. And KJ Williams in there too much. Obviously, he's averaging 8.5 rebounds on the season. Just looking here, if we look at his last, this is why I think it's a buy low spot here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games out of his last 10 that he's missed this number. But in the games that he's hit him, he's getting 10, 10, 12, 10. This guy, I mean, he's going to be their best player. Like I said, he's the best guy on this team by quite a bit, averaging 18 points per game, 8.5 boards. And guess what? Big guys show up in big games. You saw it last night with Johnny Davis. You saw it with Teddy Allen. When the lights get brightest, it has to go through your best guy. And I see KJ Allen putting up a pretty big stat line tonight and grabbing us at least 8.5 rebounds and taking care of business. So little recap here. Over 138 in Arkansas. That's minus 110, 1.5 unit, and 1 unit play on KJ Williams of Murray State to grab us 9 boards tonight. So thank you guys so much. I know it's tough. I know too. I'm losing the money with you guys on a couple of these. So yeah, I'll have a couple other free plays for you guys. And I'm extremely excited to keep rolling the March Madness and trying to keep chugging away and making a little bit of money here as we finish it up. So thank you guys so much for all your support. I appreciate you. We will talk tomorrow, possibly early in the morning, for another round of this type of plays. So thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.